Hello YouTube, this is Psalm 91:10. I'm going to talk to you today about hypocrisy. Very loves reason for not going to church by many people. I hear a lot of people all the time on YouTube or stuff like that saying, I don't go to church because of hypocrites. Well, I'm going to reveal truth to those of you who do say this, and this is a belief, so if you want to argue with this, oh well, you can argue it, but I'm not going to make an argument out of it. I'm just going to express my beliefs and that's it. Hypocrisy, what I'm going to do is reveal to you that you're a hypocrite at least one point in your life, so don't want to hear it. Here, I went to Wikipedia because I'm not real great at giving exact definitions, and to help me out here, I want to use this. But definition of hypocrisy is the act of preaching a certain belief, religion, or way of life, but not, in fact, holding these same virtues oneself. For example, an adult telling children not to smoke cigarettes, even though, the adult smokes. Hypocrisy is frequently invoked as an accusation in many contexts. That really, in truth, that would not be a good example, because I mean, I'm just reading that. I read that example off of Wikipedia, but to tell you the truth, that wouldn't really be a good example of a hypocrite, because the adult is actually trying to let the children know, hey, this ain't good, I'm addicted to it, and I don't want you to do it. Sort of the same reason why people say you don't have sex before marriage. It does get addicting, and also you can get all kinds of sicknesses from it, so that's kind of a bad example. Here's a good example. I've heard this in high school from girls. I've heard it from guys. I'm gonna take both sides on this part. The woman or the girl saying, "Oh, I'm not gonna date guys again." 2 weeks later, going out with another guy. Alright, and same thing goes with guys. I'm not going to date girls again. 2 weeks later, going out with a girl. Not everyone does that, but I have heard it. They're hypocrites. But they're saying that out of anger. Another example of being a hypocrite would be someone saying, well, I guess this wouldn't be either, unless they're not really addicted to it, if they're just drinking socially. But they tell people, don't drink beer, and then they go out and get a case of beer next week, and they're doing it socially. Not that they're addicted to it. That would be hypocrisy. If they're addicted to it, you gotta give them a little leeway there, because they're trying, they might be, not in all cases, but in some cases, they are trying to get off of it and have a hard time doing it. But in that one, you have to throw the person a bone for a little while. I mean, some things do get addicting. I understand that, but it's people trying to tell others not to do something because someone's already been through it. And in the church, a lot of times you hear people say, "Don't." I'm trying to think of the most hypocritical thing other than sex, because I done used it, but I guess the sex one would be, it's just something that someone's been through already, and they don't want anybody to go through the same pain, or the same sorrow, stuff like that. You know, they say that for the others on good, because they don't want them to go through the same pain. And there might be people who's, I mean, this is weird and crazy, but there are actually people who are addicted to sex. I'll just leave it at that. I'm trying. Hang on for a minute. I just had a derailed thought. My thought's derailed. Trying to get my train of thought back. I'll get back here in a minute. You know, people say, don't do this, don't do that. It's either for the other person's own good, or they're just Like in the Bible, it says, King Solomon himself, I don't want to use this out of Kings, Book of Kings, Solomon married 700 wives, and he says, don't get married to more than one wife. There's a reason for that. He's been there. He said it ain't no fun because one wife is always jealous of the other. There's one reason of it, and they're always fighting on whose son gets to be the heir of the throne. Stuff like that. There's wisdom in that. So he's warning others, hey, don't do this because I've been through it. One more thing, the reason why the church says, don't do this because someone else has been through it, or, I mean, in a lot of cases everyone's been through it, but they're trying to warn those that haven't not to do it. So therefore, if you're going to call somebody a hypocrite, look at yourself and make sure you're not a hypocrite. I mean, you have to really look down deep in your life somewhere where you've never been a hypocrite in order to call someone a hypocrite. And if you say you're not a hypocrite, pretty much chances are you are. You just don't know where you have been. You probably forgot it, but you are more than likely a hypocrite. So anyone out there who's using that for an excuse of why not go to church, quit using it, because you're a hypocrite. Don't give you a good enough excuse to not go to church. You know, one shirt I always see is I'm not perfect, but I am forgiven. It's true. God don't expect you to be so perfect that when you die you're so perfect, because He don't really expect you to be perfect when you die. He just wants you to at least love Him and strive towards the perfection. He don't say you have to be. He says strive towards it though. That's what I do, is I strive towards that perfection, but I'm not perfect. I still mess up every once in a while. So that's all I've got to say on the hypocrite issue. Anyone else out there want to argue this, go ahead, I'll listen to you. But I'm not going to turn it into a big argument. I'm just going to either say I disagree, give you my reasons why, and unless I've already gave the reasons why in this video, you're just telling me the reason why you don't. I'm going to respect your beliefs. I'm not going to condemn you for it. But this is something I felt like I needed to say. So, goodbye YouTube, and God bless. Love you guys. Bye.